Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Hannah and this is Jar of Fireflies. Here I make videos all about my life as an Orthodox Jewish homeschooling mother of 4. And today we're going to be getting ready for Shabbat. Yes, folks, we are back to another regular Shabbat day in the life. And I've got a couple of things that I'm going to be cooking today. I am pretty stoked about that. I am going to be making a new dessert. And yes, it involves those cute little cups I've been obsessed with lately. And I'm going to be making a soup. Okay, Shabbat. Going to be a pretty simple Shabbat today because we're only getting ready for dinner tonight, though the dessert is actually for lunch tomorrow. We got invited out for a meal for lunch and I offered to bring a dessert because I know gluten-free desserts are just about the hardest thing for people to create when they're not used to cooking gluten-free and they're having us over. And dessert is pretty typical for a Shabbat lunch meal. There's usually some kind of a dessert, at least in my neighborhood, in my experience, especially when there's a bunch of kids involved and I've got a house full of kids. My friend who invited us has a house full of kids. So yeah, we'll be having a little something sweet afterwards. I am having to get a little bit creative though, because in their family, they don't do food coloring. And in our family, we don't do gluten. So it's not like we can just go like buy a package of cookies off the shelf or anything like that at the store. So it's gonna be fun, but we're gonna make it work. Okay. What else? It is raining and that is pretty exciting. I woke up this morning. I don't even know if that footage from me sitting in my study this morning is even usable, so there may be a little bit of that, probably not a lot because it was really dark in here. I lit some candles because that's what I've been doing lately now that it started to get a little bit cooler outside. But with the rain, it was like so beautifully dreary outside and the candles, and I just could not bring myself to turn on the lights this morning. I mean, they're on now because I'm trying to like pretend to be a professional and film a video, but it was too dark to stand by the window still. It's raining and it's beautiful and I love it. But yeah, I don't even know if the intro was very long this morning because of that, but that is okay. All right, so baby Firefly was up for a little bit this morning. He is now back to sleep. My oldest is awake, kind of doing his own thing, and the other two are still snoozing away. So I can go get started on like dessert and stuff. What else is happening around here? I took some time off school this week and that was good. I really needed that. And I didn't realize even how much I needed that until I did it. So that was pretty exciting. Just with like, you know, I realized, you know, I had a baby, I went into the holidays and I tried to jump right back into life as normal. And it was just too much. It was too much. So I took some time off and that is okay. I had not planned on doing school the week of Thanksgiving, so we'll probably just do some school that week instead to make up for what we didn't do this week. It is no big deal. We're gonna get everything in that we need to get in. I'm not worried about it. This is like one of the biggest perks of homeschooling, is that we can give each other what we need. If I need a little time off, we can take it. If one of my kids needs a little time off, they can take it. And we just make up for it later on. But in general, we can meet all of our needs, and it's lovely and self-care. Okay, so like I said, baby Firefly is asleep. Well, he was awake this morning and went back down for a nap. So while he is sleeping, I think that is the best time for me to jump in the kitchen and get started on some of this food. Because once he's awake, it'll be at least a little bit more difficult. So let's go start cooking. Okay, so we're just gonna dive straight in and start making the dessert for Shabbat lunch tomorrow. I had offered to bring a dessert for lunch because gluten-free desserts are usually like the hardest thing to make. So we're gonna start out with some apples. I'm just peeling some apples and then I will chop them up into tiny pieces. I love apple desserts. I love apples in general. And now that it's fall and it feels like fall, at least here in Texas, I'm really excited to bring out kind of a more fall themed dessert. Okay, now that the apples are peeled and cut, I'm gonna start just dicing them into pretty small pieces. Not so small that they're just gonna get mushy when I bake them, but small enough that they will be able to fit in some cute little dessert cups. Once those are all diced up pretty small, I'm just moving them into a separate bowl, and then I'm gonna add in some cinnamon, I don't know, maybe about a tablespoon or so, maybe a little more, and then some sugar. I added about 1/3 cup of sugar. All right, with all that in there, I'm just gonna mix those 3 ingredients together till the apples are coated with the cinnamon and sugar. Once that's done, I'm just gonna move that into a baking dish, and then I can put that into the oven on 350 for 1 hour. Okay, I've got the apples in the oven. They're gonna bake in there for like an hour, and then they'll need to cool off before I assemble everything. But there's more to be made for this dessert. Okay, I'm gonna make a streusel topping, and what I'm gonna do is layer the apples in the streusel. I think it's gonna be probably like apple streusel, and then put a little whipped cream on top. That is what's happening. Let's make a streusel topping. For the streusel topping, I'm starting with 6 tablespoons of Earth Balance. You could totally use butter if you were cool with dairy. I want to make this dairy-free, so I'm using the Earth Balance, which is a non-dairy butter alternative. I'm just going to get that to melt, and then I can set it aside so that that can cool off. Now in a separate bowl, I'm going to add 1 cup of gluten-free flour, just because we're gluten-free. You could use regular. 1/2 cup of brown sugar, 1/3 cup of granulated sugar, 1 tablespoon of ground cinnamon, and about 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And now I'm just going to use my whisk, mix all of that together. And once that is done, I can add in that cooled off, melted fake butter that I had just melted a little bit ago. Now using a fork, I'm just going to blend all of that together. You don't want it to blend too much. You want to make sure that it stays crumbly. So like, don't make all those clumps disappear. You want to have those clumps. That's the fun of the streusel topping. Okay, the streusel topping is done now. It looks super good. It's got those nice little crumbles in it that you want in a streusel topping. So like, I didn't mix it too much. And yeah, that's good. So the apples are still in the oven, but once that comes out and they cool off, then I can layer that in the little dessert cups, which are these, just in case you haven't seen them yet. I'm totally obsessed with these. They're like these little 3-ounce dessert cups, and they're perfect for being able to bring a dessert out to someone's house for a meal. So, what am I gonna do now? Yeah, so I need to wait to assemble that dessert. So baby Firefly is still sleeping, so I'm gonna take advantage, continue taking advantage, and I'm gonna work on the soup for tonight. All right, the soup that I am going to make is a Cock-a-Leekie soup. It is a kind of chicken soup from Scotland. I love it. It's a soup that contains a lot of leeks. I'm very excited, and we've got leeks in the fridge that I need to use up. So I grabbed a chicken out of the freezer yesterday to thaw out, and we're gonna get started making this soup. Hey, hey, you making noise? Are you making noise? Okay, so none of that just went as planned, like the last, I don't know, 30 to 45 minutes of my life, but that's totally okay. All right, I started getting my ingredients together for the soup. Baby Firefly woke up, as you can probably hear in the background, so he's chilling here with me now. Okay, so ingredients for the soup. I started getting everything together and I only had half the amount of leeks that I need. Luckily at that point, Mr. Firefly called and was like, hey, what do you need before I come home? And I was like, how about some leeks? So he's gonna stop by the store and pick me up some of those. In the meantime though, I can go ahead and get started because I need half the leeks at the beginning and half the leeks later on. Hi, I know. It is so exciting to be awake. Yes, it is. He actually had a really good morning nap. Also, the apples came out of the oven. Here are they. So that's a really good size. I think that'll be perfect. Those need to cool off though before I can start assembling the desserts. So I'm just gonna put that on the back burner for now. Side counter, back burner, whatever. Okay, so he just went from cute noises to pick me up noises, so he's picked up now. So I'm gonna spend a little time with him and then we'll dive back into the soup. By the way, the recipes for the streusel and for the soup, I will link to both of those in the description box below. They are not like original recipes of mine, they're just recipes that I found online. So I will link to those in the description box below for you. Okay? You're looking at those apples, huh? You getting hungry? Okay, yeah, let's make some soup. Okay, after I got myself set up for the Cock-a-Leekie soup, I am taking 6 leeks and I am going to cut those into about 1-inch pieces. Then I'm taking a whole chicken, I don't know how big it is, a couple of pounds, maybe 3 pounds, putting that into a big pot, and then I'm gonna add all the leeks in there with the chicken. Next, I'm just gonna add some water until the chicken is covered, and then I can leave that to simmer for an hour. Okay, so that has to simmer for about an hour, so I gotta bring that to a simmer and then let that go. And in the meantime, the apples have cooled off enough that we can now start assembling these parfaits. I am so excited, mainly because I want one now. Let's do this. Before I could assemble the parfaits, I wanted to make a whipped topping. And I do this here in my handy dandy KitchenAid mixer with one ingredient, Rich's Whip. I just grabbed 1 container of Rich's Whip. I keep these in my freezer. I let that thaw out earlier today, and I'm just gonna put that here in the KitchenAid and turn that on with the whisk attachment and just turn that on high until it turns into a whipped cream. So you can see it starts off just as a total liquid, then it starts to thicken up, and then, I don't know, maybe 5 minutes later, it really doesn't take that long, you get parv whipped cream, dairy-free whipped cream. I'm not planning to put the whipped cream on the desserts until right before I serve it, so I'm going ahead and just putting all of the whipped cream into a Tupperware container to save that in the fridge until I'm ready to actually use that. But I wanted to go ahead and make it today because, well, I must make it today. I cannot make it tomorrow, and I wanted to put one of these on parfait to try here in a few. All right, so now I'm just gonna set up all of my cups so that I can start getting everything assembled. I need 15 of the desserts for lunch tomorrow, and I'm hoping to get 5 more for dinner tonight. Okay, so I've just got a little teaspoon. It's like a smaller than a table teaspoon, I guess. It's like just a little spoon. And I'm just gonna add in a scoop of the apples to each of these cups. And then I'm going to kind of shake the cups a little bit to sort of even out the layer of apples. And then I can add in the layer of streusel, another layer of apples, another layer of streusel, another layer of apples, and then a final top layer of streusel. In between each layer, I did take the time to kind of shake each of these cups again, just so the layers would be a little bit more even and it wouldn't be just like more of a jumble of ingredients, but there would actually kind of be some layers going on in these cups. Once I hit that final layer of streusel there on the top, I just tried to evenly distribute what I had left of the streusel across the tops of each of these. Okay, these are so cute. Oh my gosh. So, okay. I thought that I made plenty of apples. I actually quit killing apples and started trying to give them away to the kids because I was like, I got plenty here, and I really didn't. I had exactly enough to make 15 plus this kind of small one, which is going to be my taste tester. And same with the streusel topping. So that recipe made enough for me to do 15, which is perfect because there are 15 for lunch tomorrow. So that is how many that I need to bring. I had hoped to have enough to make for dessert tonight also, but that didn't end up turning out. And I'm not gonna go like make more apples or anything like that. So what I'm gonna do is just finish up this partial one, this like almost full one, and so you guys can see what it looks like totally done, ready to serve. And we'll give it a try. Assembling here at the end, super simple. I'm just pulling off a scoop of the whipped cream with the little serving spoon that comes with these cups, and it's ready to eat. However, I had some caramel sauce in the refrigerator. Now this caramel sauce is dairy, so we can't serve it with our meals because we're gonna be eating meat at the meals, but I thought it'd be fun to try now. Okay, you guys, this is really cute. It's really cute. Okay. I'm kind of hoping this is going to be sort of like apple pie or caramel apple or something like that. So let's get a little bite with a little bit of everything on it. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei parfaits. Oh my gosh, you guys, so good. Hey guys, come in here and try this dessert.
Yeah! Okay.
Here's a bite for you. What do we think? I got a lot of thumbs up. I got a lot of thumbs up. Their mouths are full of apples, but a lot of thumbs up. That's really good. Yeah. That right there is the biggest compliment. No. But I love you. I'm going to eat the rest. You only sort of like it?
There's a lot of sugar and cinnamon.
There's a lot of sugar and cinnamon. It is a dessert.
I love the whipped cream.
You love the whipped cream? Okay, awesome. Okay. Now I'm gonna finish this, what is left, and that's it. Now I'm just waiting, so I'll take a break. The soup is still simmering here behind me. It's got about another 22 minutes. Hopefully by that point my husband will be home, so I will have the rest of the ingredients that I need. Are you making spit bubbles? You're so cute. You are so cute. I have a very happy baby over there. Okay, and I'm just gonna package these up. I think what I'm gonna do is just put some lids on the little containers because they do come with these cute little lids, and then I can just bring them over like that, not have to worry about anything spilling or getting messed up. And then the whipped topping I can add right before we serve after lunch tomorrow. Okay, so that's what's happening here. All right, once those were all packaged up, I saw that the chicken had been simmering for its required hour. So I very carefully and thankfully without dropping it, removed the chicken from the pot into a bowl to cool. Okay, so the soup was finished with its hour of simmering, so I pulled the chicken out, and that's gonna sit there till that cools off, and then a little bit later this afternoon, once I can touch that without burning my fingers, I will shred the chicken off of the bone and just set that aside. And then right before Shabbat, I'll take this pot back out, and I'll simmer 4 ounces of rice in there for 20 minutes, and then for 10 minutes of that 20 minutes, I will simmer in some shredded carrots as well. And then Shabbat will begin, so it'll be ready to serve, and I'll just add the chicken back in at that point. So, all right, so with that, my sushi just came. So I'm gonna go eat that, and I don't know, I guess I get to relax a little bit this afternoon. All right, we'll check back with you guys later. So after what was a very busy and nonstop morning of cooking and making things, I was able to sit down after lunch a little bit, play with the dog, and just kind of relax there for a few, which was very nice. I was even able to pull out a book for a minute, but then my daughter came in and she wanted to spend some time together. Can't say no to that. So I put the book away and we decided to work on her hair. Now she does her own hair during the week, but then on Fridays I like to go through and do her hair myself just to make sure we get all the knots out, and I can pay attention to like if there's too much buildup of product in her hair or, you know, any little things like that. We also use this time together to talk about how to do her hair, you know, just while she's still learning. Curly hair is like its whole own thing. It is not as simple as just brushing her hair. And then I was able to put it in a really fun hairstyle for Shabbat. She has some new clips that she wanted to use, and she also really loves having her hair in a braid. Here's just a random shot of baby Firefly's cute little onesie feet because adorable. So by this point, I realized that Shabbat is quickly approaching. These shorter winter days make it a little bit more difficult to get ready for Shabbat just because there's just literally not as many hours in the day to get ready, because Shabbat starts so much earlier than it did during the summer. And it really does just sort of sneak up on you. So I am quickly setting the table. Even though I'm having to rush to set the table today, it's still really relaxing and fun for me. And this is like the thing of my day that really makes it feel like Shabbat is almost here. All right, next up, flowers. Luckily, the flowers came straight from the store, incredibly beautifully arranged, so all I had to do was trim the bottoms and put them in vases of water. A little bit of flower rearranging, but not like a whole arrangement needed to be done. So that was really great since I didn't have a lot of time today. The table all finished, I just started checking little things. The fish was warming up there on the stove. I made sure that we had light switch covers on our light switches so we didn't accidentally turn those on when Shabbat started. Checked on the soup, brought that back up to a simmer to add in 4 ounces of rice. After the rice had been simmering there for 10 minutes, I added in 6 more chopped leeks. They were cut into those same 1-inch sections. And then I added in some carrots, some shredded carrots. And I just used some leftovers that I had in the refrigerator. And then that's gonna simmer along with the rice for 10 more minutes, and then the soup will be done. Okay, I think we're pretty much good to go here. It is, I can't tell what time it is. Hold on. Okay, I had to check on my phone. We are about 30-45 minutes away from Shabbat starting, so I finally have everything done. The last hour was a bit of a whirlwind of just tidying up all the loose ends and that sort of thing. Whew, but everything is ready to go for dinner tonight. I am so excited. It's just sitting on here for another 10 minutes. And then that'll be done, and the table's set, and the laundry's done, and I don't know, the baby's happy, kids are happy, everybody's happy. That's all that matters. Okay, so I'm gonna go get myself ready, and I'll come back out and say a quick goodbye before I close the video. Okay, y'all wanna know what today is? Today is Sunday. Yes, I did not have time to get back on the camera on Friday. Life happened and everything's fine. It's just life happened. Everybody needed a little something, and I don't know. By the time I got out of the shower and dressed, it was pretty much time to light my candles, so I did not get back on the camera, and I just came and lit my candles. And then I thought that I would get on last night and just maybe chat about Shabbat for a minute. But last night also was just a whole lot of stuff because I had to clean up and get ready for school this morning and all that stuff. So last night did not happen either. And now here we are. We're taking a short break from school, and I came in here and thought, let's go ahead and finish off this video. So here I am. As always, thank you so much for being here. I super appreciate it. Please be sure to hit that like button if you enjoyed. It lets me know what kinds of videos you guys like to see, and it helps my channel out a lot, so thank you for that. And if you have not yet subscribed, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button because I would love to see you here again. Drop me a note down there in the comment section below and let me know what your favorite fall treat is. I'd absolutely love to hear. Let's get that conversation going. All right, and with that, I gotta get back to teaching my kids. So thank you all again. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you in my next upload. And dessert's pretty typical for a Shabbat lunch meal. There's usually some kind of and I want to make sure that the meal is actually, and I only want to put that on if the dessert, but I'm saving the caramel sauce for tomorrow. Like, I'm not going to assemble. Oh my. Okay. Boop, 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 boop. Okay, so, yeah, I know, I'll pick you up. You want me to wear you? Yes? Okay. Okay, so that has to simmer. The word is simmer. I know, Mommy's got no brain anymore.